Alright, I will need you to explain to me by the time you finish watching this video. I will need your own explanation in the comment section. I would like to hear from you. Please pay attention to this.
I have some issues to address this morning, specifically four from some of the submissions we have on the platform, and I'm going to be direct with them. Some of them are questions, some of them are submission actually, but we need to attend to all of them. They are throbbing concerns. The first one is from registrar.chi University. This was on the issue on the message we dropped yesterday concerning the pioneer who appears to be stalling disbursement, saying unless pioneer is paid, then no other grant is going to be paid. Now the question came up like this, or a submission. Say, good evening, Princess It. Thanks for the update. Personally, I will advise the pioneer to calm down since there is some discrepancy in the pioneer payment arrangement. They should allow the UAAG to go ahead. However, if we all could vividly remember, I believe this is sequel to the revelation given by the Almighty God to one NGO in his dream, which you aired on this platform recently. A certain group was disbursed to and the other group was sad. But later, when they were disbursed to, the amount they received was more than what the people in the first group received. I can decipher that God is talking here. I believe this should serve as a pointer to the doubting Thomases who might still want to give deaf ears to the warning God gave to NGO to pass on to those who will want to be greedy in any way. All right, Registrar Chi University, I think there's a mix-up in your submission. I just, when you were talking about, I remember that there was a message that was dropped not recently. You are mixing up two messages. The one you first referred to, that has to do with one group was disbursed to, and then one was sad, and later they were disbursed to. That was a long time ago. It was dropped by one woman. I'm not even sure it was this year. You understand? They were later disbursed to. You understand? In that revelation, But the recent one I posted was the one that was addressing the NGOs to be careful of not to short circuit the payment to every beneficiaries, as they could be visited with death or incurable diseases and all that. It was a warning to all cluster heads, NGO leaders, stakeholders, and the rest of them not to tamper with beneficiaries' money. So it appears you are mixing the two revelations together. So, but be that as it may, in response to your question, I could vividly say that your observation is well assimilated. Truly, both the pioneer and the UAG are now positioned for payment, and there is no longer any form of preference or separation in arrangement. We want to really appreciate God for the timely intervention of the duo who are the former ex-president Olusegun Obasanjo and Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who has brought both arms into alignment for disbursement. I think that alone should give us all a strong sense of relief, and knowing before we're kind of optimistic which one should come first, because Pioneer Fund was too large to dabble into, and UAAG has been cleared, but the fund is not as big as the other one. So, but now on this wing of this intervention, we give thanks to God that both of them have been set for disbursement and clarity. There's no preferential treatment anymore. The fund, no matter how large it is, has now been cleared for disbursement for the Pioneer, and UAAG has been settled also for disbursement. The only thing left right now is the modality for disbursement, which the government has been trying to tamper with before the advent of the involvement of this signature that is coming from, and the invitation letter coming that was projected to the IMF officials to also land in the country, which we have been awaited information concerning that. So that's the only issue that's the modality, right? The structure or the pattern or what's going to be used for disbursement, which we knew that the code failed, but now the new approach, which they mentioned, de facto approach, which is going to be applied in the new system going forward for the disbursement. But as to whether the preference of which one is going to disburse first or not, that has been cleared. So thank you very much, Registrar, for that particular submission. I appreciate you for that. Then the next one here is coming from who is this? Okay, this is coming from Precious Jackson Oluchi. It's a Princey sweetie. I don't turn to Princey sweetie. All right, this is Princess, okay? It's not Princey sweetie. Thank you very much, Princey sweetie. Thank God for the good news, sir. But Obasi should tell Ngozi Israel not to come out on Thursday for debunking. Now I can see smile in the face while giving this news. Likewise us here. No sad news on weekend. Thank you. All right. Okay, thank you very much, Precious Jackson Oluchi. Like I said, this is not Princess Sweetie, this is Princess Sit. All right, thank you for that submission. But then, let's be clear with this. Ngozi Israel will not come out to debunk. I can assure you this time around. Don't forget that they're all in the same clique. To be plain with you, Donald, Ngozi, and Amaka precisely. The three of them are in the same clique. The way it happens is Amaka seems to copy from Donald. Then Donald copies from Ngozi Israel. What I mean is they rely on each other like that. Then, okay. What I mean is Amaka copies from Donald copies from Ngozi. Then Ngozi relies on an unknown source to us, and that source is actually tied directly to the actual disbursement, and in due course, both the name and even a symbolic song, according to her, will surface as confirmation. So Ngozi herself has an unknown source to us, which is going to be revealed with a name. By the time disbursement is going to reveal her name, the name of the source, with a song, according to her. You understand? So the both of them, the three of them, they work together. So whatever Obasi said is what Ngozi has said. So you can be sure that Ngozi will not come out to debunk what Obasi said, and Amaka will not debunk what Pastor Donald Obasi Okore said. They're all in the same clique. You understand? So I hope that settles that. Then the last one here, should that be the last one? No, we have another one from, who is this? Okay, this is coming from Cornelius Ono. Cornelius Ono says, please, we bought 3 clusters. Okay, we bought clusters 3 years ago. Hope Theobald is paying. Hope Theobald is still paying. Please reply us, please. Okay, maybe I'm going to take the 2 tickets. Like this also looks similar to that. Please, sir, pay the grant. Theobald was introduced to us was introduced. This English is disjointed. Theobald introduced us to grant since 12 years ago. He's supposed to pay first before any grant if you're a true. Anyway, I hope we understand what the guy is actually saying. So for the person asking whether Theobald is going to pay, yes, Theobald will still pay. Okay, so please relax your mind. The process is intact. He is going to pay. Whatever the case is around Theobald lately, let's just brush it behind us. For all subscribers of Theobald would pay. Okay. Then I think there is the last one there. That says, Mr. Prince is it. Can one buy or still register for slot now, or is it closed? That should be from Hajara Bawa or something. Yes, from Hajara Bawa. Well, your question is quite so important. Now, about whether one can still buy or register for a slot now. I cannot categorically say at this moment. I only hope that it hasn't closed, but I don't think so. Remember the logistics memo. Remember the logistics memo that was released by Reverend Elibo, and that should be a useful guide. I think I dropped a message that time. I said, I don't think that subscription would close soon. Because if Pastor or Reverend Elibo says that the fund that people pay is meant for logistics, you could be rest assured that they will keep collecting these logistics funds until the actual time that disbursement would happen. And don't be surprised when you begin. A lot of people are still saying that slot selling are still going on. What do you expect? They've only told you the secret behind it. So it's not a news now to start carrying the news of slot selling. Anybody carrying the news of slot selling is still going on. That means you didn't hear the last message that came very well from Reverend Elibo. He said point blank that the fund meant for Pioneer is not what gives you the billions. What you're paying in is not what gives you the billions you're expecting. It's just like something keys you into the system, but the little amount you are paying, for instance, you pay 10,000, you want to get 10 billion, you pay 20,000, you want to get 20 billion. He said, how can you quantify that particular that payment? How can you juxtapose it? It doesn't follow. That is just a way to key you into the system, you understand, for what is expected for you, the return on investment, you understand. But that particular money you paid is meant for the logistics, the accommodation fee, the transportation, the feeding, the calls, and the rest of them like that, for those working behind the scene. He said it point blank, and I think that is expose enough. So, and I mentioned in my V note then that you should know that as long as disbursement has not been paid, they will still be collecting this slot selling, because they are still in the hotel according to him. They are still making calls according to him. They are still, all of those. They are still. So that my opinion actually, but I am not think I'm too far from the truth. You understand? So, except that you should be careful of where you put in your money. That is what counts right now, because you might say registration has not closed, but you are still feeding a scammer with the money, and by the time the payment finally comes, you just come to wake up that the person you pay to is nowhere. His number is not reachable. The group has flipped off, and you begin to say, but you paid for Pioneer. You didn't pay. It has fizzled off the air. So I think that's the way I could possibly address that. So patience, calmness, and trust are needed now more than ever before. Both Pioneer and UAAG have reached the climax of this long journey, and I believe that delivery is in sight, very much in sight. So what are you supposed to do? Keep calm, but in your waiting season, be praying for the system so that everything can work according to purpose and plan. We're all going to be surprised. The kind of surprise that will hit us in a short while is that type that will give us some cry, but it's going to be a cry of joy, where we would all be happy that we invested in one way or the other, whether in a little way or in a big way. The fact remains that we put in something as an investment, and we are coming with treasures eventually.